here we are at the top of the hill. I'm sitting by the monument because I'm hoping it's going to act as a windbreak and you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. So today is my year carnivore update. I started the carnivore diet a year ago. It's quite a lot to process. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Rebecca. I'm 43 years old. I went down with MS in April 2016. That was my first episode of nerve failure in my eye. I was age 36 at the time and I was finishing my PhD. I was in the final year of my PhD when it happened. And although I did go on to finish my PhD and hand it in, which is my biggest achievement in life, to finish my PhD with MS fatigue is the hardest thing I've ever done. But I managed it, I got it, and then I crashed. I crashed for like 3 years. I was housebound, sofa-bound, using a wheelchair, utterly depressed and traumatized. I was on antidepressants. I was injecting strong MS medication every day into a body that had very little fat on it, which made those injections extremely painful. And I didn't see that I had a future because here I was diagnosed with a neurodegenerative condition for which there was no cure. There was no medication that I could take that would help my symptoms. And on top of that, the medication causes side effects on top of your symptoms. So it was just a horrible, horrible situation. My body wasn't working, my brain wasn't working, my life wasn't working. In the middle of all of that, Brexit was happening. So I knew that I had a deadline after which I wouldn't be able to live in Spain should I wish to. I was just like, I have to move to Spain where I can try and live off-grid and reduce my outgoings and just be happier and healthier. And also because I'm a translator, you know, if I am well enough to work again, that's where I'm going to get work. So it just all pointed towards have to move to Spain. So I moved to Spain. I moved up a mountain off-grid and I stayed there for 4 years. I was there for the pandemic. In fact, I arrived 2 weeks before the pandemic and my health did improve. So the reason I'm telling you this is the background of my health journey, which actually predates starting the carnivore diet, which did help me to some degree. I did recover some of my strengths and my stamina by moving up the mountain and by walking the dogs up the mountain every single day. And although I was not well enough to get a social life going or a professional life going, I was still pretty much housebound. And the extra energy that I gained all just went on the physical demands of living off-grid. So it was a better life because it was a life of some kind, but it still wasn't a full life. And I was still very much limited by my condition. But somehow during that time, I managed to meet somebody, a partner, Anthony, my now ex, and we went traveling. We went to Turkey in his van and we also went to Morocco. And so life was improving. I was moving back into the world of the living, as I put it in a previous video. However, it was not until I started the carnivore diet that I really noticed a change. And that change was almost immediate. So if I cast my mind back to where I was at a year ago today, it was quite a stressful time. Ant was in Morocco because he didn't have Spanish residency, so he had to spend 3 months in Spain, 3 months out of Spain, and there were just lots of there were lots of life circumstances that were very stressful. And also I was very aware that I wasn't the person within the relationship that I would like to be, and I knew that that was because of my MS. I was constantly apologizing for myself, saying, you know, oh, if you'd known me before I had MS, you know, I used to be like this, I used to be like that, I didn't used to be quite so like, you know, and constantly making excuses for myself. So you know, that tells me that I was aware that I wasn't my best self, and I was struggling with barriers to being my best self, which were related to my condition. And I also was becoming quite bloated. That was because my diet was so poor. I'd let my diet go. I had been following a specialist diet for MS when I was in the UK, but I let that go in Spain because it was harder to get hold of all that kind of food. So I think that was probably the reason that I started the carnivore diet. I'd come across it on YouTube like maybe a year previously. It was a interview with Kelly Hogan, who started the carnivore diet, I think, for weight loss reasons, and she just looks so fantastic and so healthy. And I watched an interview with her like maybe a year before I started the diet, and I remember commenting to a friend of mine, you know, what, I just heard this crazy thing on YouTube, purely meat, you know, and and it struck a chord and it stuck with me, but I didn't act on it, and I didn't understand that it's something that could be used to help cure multiple sclerosis. I thought it was a weight loss thing. But you know, when you watch something on YouTube and then it suggests similar topic videos, well, that's what happens. There's a bit of a drip feed of carnivore videos that I every now and again would click on, and what stood out to me about those videos was how healthy everybody looked who was being interviewed and who was talking about it. So I that's what struck me. I wasn't heavily invested in it. It wasn't like I was desperate for a cure, or I had just accepted my situation as being a shit one and just try and make the best of it. Like, that was kind of where I was at. But I did start the diet, and within a week the bloating disappeared. It was amazing. I was getting progressively stronger as the months went by. I was not just physically but cognitively. I was getting my memory back. I was getting my wits about me. I had my core strength. I could just get up in the morning and do things. I mean, that doesn't sound like a big deal if you haven't been disabled, but that's, you know, the options open to you, the possibilities when you can get up in the morning and do stuff is, you have to have it taken away from you to understand the magnitude of that. If everybody with multiple sclerosis knew that some people had found themselves to be cured after starting the diet, I'm pretty sure most people would try it and maybe it would work for them. But my neurologist doesn't want to hear about it. He doesn't want to know. He's not interested. And he insists that I'm putting myself at risk. So yeah, I'm just telling the same story that I've told over and over again. And but I think I'm doing that for the benefit of new subscribers, basically, because my channel is growing, and that's another amazing thing that's come out of the diet. I just spontaneously decided to film a video about the diet for YouTube. And I had put up YouTube videos before, but it was the first video that I'd put up that got me a couple new subscribers from within YouTube. Like, I had 11 subscribers and all of them were people I knew in real life. And then I put up a carnivore video and I remember getting like 2 or 3 new subscribers from within YouTube, and I was blown away. So I did a 30-day update when I came back from Morocco, and then my channel just grew. And it's amazing because it's the first time in my health journey that I have found validation from the outside world for everything I'm doing to try and fight for my health. And I think that that's important, not because my life matters. If it's the fact that I got my health back and then I'm spreading the word is what the meaning of my life is, well, that's great. That's amazing. Like, that's more than I could hope for. That's more than I could have hoped for when I was sick. My energy is back in alignment with the person that I am. It was impossible to live before because it was so far out of whack, and I couldn't be the person that I am. So yeah, I offer you my testimony in the hope that it might be of value to you. So thank you for listening. I came up here specially to film the video, to be on top of the world for my year update, and I hope I've done it justice. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.